There's something I've always found a bit strange. Some African leaders speak out and they're jailed almost immediately. Some disappear, some get silenced very quickly. But Julius Malema, they threaten him, they drag him through court, they call him dangerous, reckless, an extremist. Yet somehow he's still here, still speaking, still shouting, still filling stadiums. And I kept thinking, if he's really that threatening, why hasn't the system locked him up? My name is Noreen, and this is Real Africa Stories. And today feels like one of those slightly uncomfortable chats we'd have over tea. Because people either love Julius Malema or they really don't like him. There's rarely anything in between. But instead of arguing about whether he's good or bad, I want to look at something else. Why does he make powerful people so nervous?
No, we're doing that against America. It will never like that. But are we going to retreat because America doesn't want us to do that? Never. Even if America decides that I should no longer enter America, it's okay, I will enter Zimbabwe. I'll enter Botswana, I'll enter Nigeria, I'll enter Africa, my home. Why should I be concerned about people who are going to feed me beggars and make me fat when I can go to Nigeria and eat jollof? Nice, nom, nice food. So why must I fight for beggars instead of jollof? When we're in Nigeria, you must, DSG was there, we're given a nice jollof rice and what is that, goat soup? Pepper soup.
And why does he keep fighting even when it clearly costs him everything? Because leaders like Malema don't just appear out of nowhere. He wasn't raised in political royalty. He grew up in Limpopo, raised by a single mum, very working class, very ordinary. The kind of background most politicians claim to understand, but rarely actually come from. As a child, he helped out however he could, selling things, hustling, doing what a lot of African kids do to survive. Nothing glamorous, nothing special. And maybe that's exactly the point. He didn't grow up protected from poverty. He grew up inside it. From a young age, he was already organizing, already speaking up, already joining political spaces most kids wouldn't even think about. But here's what stands out to me. He wasn't trying to be polite. He wasn't trying to be liked. He wasn't trying to sound respectable. He was loud, opinionated, challenging elders, questioning authority. And in our cultures, that alone makes people uncomfortable because we're taught to be quiet, to wait our turn, to not rock the boat. Malema doesn't rock the boat. He flips the whole thing over. He joins the ANC Youth League. And suddenly this young guy is speaking with a kind of fire that older politicians had lost. Not polished, not corporate, not careful, just raw. And you could hear it. He wasn't speaking theory. He was speaking lived experience. Talking about poverty like he'd seen it, because he had. Talking about inequality like it hurt, because it did. And a lot of young people saw themselves in him. Not perfect, not educated in fancy ways, not well spoken for the cameras, just frustrated. And sometimes frustration is what wakes people up. At first, he believed in the ANC. He really did. People forget that. He wasn't some outsider throwing stones. He was inside the system. But over time, he started calling things out. Corruption, leaders getting rich, fancy cars, big houses, while the same townships stayed poor, while the same families struggled. And it's one thing to criticize your enemy. It's another thing to criticize your own side. That's when people start seeing you as dangerous. So eventually they pushed him out, expelled him. And I honestly think they thought that would finish him. Like, get rid of him and he'll disappear. But instead, he builds the EFF.
We are not going anywhere without CIC. Who will stand? Who will stand until CIC comes? Free Malema. Julius Malema, the president of South Africa.
And suddenly, he's not just one loud guy. He has a movement. Red berets, stadiums, energy, young people showing up in numbers. And that's when the fear really starts, because now it's not just noise, it's influence. Let's talk about what he actually says, because this is where people get uncomfortable. He talks about land, not gently, not slowly, not in a way that makes investors feel safe. He says land must come back to the people. He talks about mines. He says they should benefit South Africans, not foreign shareholders. He talks about economic freedom, not just political freedom. And that's a big difference. Because yes, apartheid ended politically, but economically, a lot stayed the same. Same companies, same wealth, same families owning everything. And Malema keeps pointing at that over and over. Like, why are we still poor in our own country? Why do we have freedom on paper, but not in our pockets? And whether you agree with him or not, those questions hit where it hurts. Money, land, control. That's where real power sits. Not parliament, not speeches. Land and resources. And when someone keeps shining a light on that, the people benefiting from it start to panic. So what do? They label him radical, extremist, dangerous. And I've noticed something. Whenever someone threatens the status quo, that's always the language they use. Because once you label someone, you don't have to listen to them. You just dismiss them. Oh, he's crazy. Oh, he's too much. Oh, don't take him seriously. It's easier than actually answering the questions he's asking. But here's the part that fascinates me most. If he's truly such a threat, why not just put him in prison? History shows us what happens to loud revolutionaries. Mandela, Biko, Lumumba, Sankara, prison, assassination, exile. So why not Malema? Why all the court cases and drama, but no cell? And this is just my personal take. I think prison would make him bigger, not smaller. Because the moment you jail someone like him, he stops being a politician and becomes a symbol, a martyr. Imagine it. Julius Malema as a political prisoner. Posters, songs, international pressure, young people even more energized. He becomes bigger than the party, bigger than politics, bigger than control. And ideas like that, you can't cage them. So instead, they do something smarter. Court cases, charges, scandals, constant headlines. Keep him busy, keep him distracted, keep him looking chaotic. Because a distracted revolutionary is easier to manage than a legendary one. And here's the bit I keep coming back to. Underneath all the shouting and the theatre, he's still human, still that kid who grew up watching his mother struggle, still someone who saw poverty up close. Sometimes when I watch him speak, I don't see anger, I see protection. Like he's saying, these are my people and I'm not leaving them behind. And that feeling, a lot of people recognize it, especially the poor, especially the young, especially people who feel forgotten. You don't have to agree with everything he says to understand why he exists. Leaders like him don't appear randomly. They grow out of pain, out of inequality, out of promises that were never kept. He's not the cause, he's the symptom. And symptoms tell you something deeper is wrong.
That's what white people are scared of. They are scared of a black authority. We are the black authority, and we speak for black people with authority, and we don't doubt ourselves when we speak for the voiceless people who are oppressed by white supremacy in South Africa. The white people who brought us to this court, it is because they don't like being challenged. When you challenge them, they want to use you as an example. I've been an example for the rest of my life, and I will be an example even in my grave. I will never retreat. I will never surrender to white supremacy. No prison can make me to retreat from my ideas. No death will threaten me to retreat from my ideas. nobody will ever intimidate me and change me for who I am, because I am black and I'm proud to be black, because I'm a voice of the black people and I'm proud to be the voice of black people. Kill me now if you want to kill me. Kill me, coward. You are scared of a political debate. You use court to settle the political differences. I am not scared of prison, neither am I scared of death. When I joined the struggle, I knew three things might happen to me. They will either arrest me or they will either kill me. If they don't kill me, I will attain my freedom. We fight for the freedom. We are not scared of death. We are not scared of prison. We are scared of poverty. We are scared of unemployment. We are scared of being landless. We are scared of living without our dignity as black people. Comrades, you must be strong as leaders of the revolution.
If millions of people are listening to him, maybe it's not just about him. Maybe it's about what still hasn't been fixed. So when you hear someone say he's dangerous, ask yourself, dangerous to who? When they say he's too radical, radical for who? Because sometimes what looks radical to the powerful just sounds like justice to everyone else. And here's what I really want to ask you. Do you think Julius Malema is the problem, or is he simply exposing problems that were already there? Because those are two very different things. This is the Africa you're not shown. I'm here to show you.